Alright, this is White Knight #1 by Van Morrison, a mini-series starring White Knight. We have seen him crop up in a few other comics before, like Stir-Fry Squadron and Gargoyle Knights. But what this video really is, it is delivering the next edition of my beloved long-running featurette entitled Artists Who Are Overrated Acts. And today's subject is Simone Bianchi. Before I begin, I want to do a quick retraction. In another video, I stated that Artist Adams would one day feature on one of these videos. But I have decided that some of his older stuff is fine. It's just everything from the last 2 decades that is lazy and identical. Simone Bianchi, he is an Italian painter, and based on his work for comics, I think when they say that he is a painter, they mean like a painter and decorator instead of an artist. Some people might think that I just didn't like painter artists. I didn't like Alec Rose either, and he's like your favourite artist. But there's loads of painted art that I do like. Aero Oliver Ritchie, May Mike Hugh, Gregory Landsman. His isn't painting, it's just tracing porn, but I consider that more artful than what Simone Bianchi does. An image like this is maybe okay, but his style just does not work for superhero comics. That's my first criticism. And my second is that Simone Bianchi has no intention of ever adapting his style to work for superhero comics. He just shits out the same old shite again and again, the same ugly paintings in the same ink-washed look, regardless of what book he is doing it for. Stuff just doesn't work in this style. It's not good at setting stuff up. It's not good for sequential storytelling. It's like throwing a bunch of loosely connected paintings together. Personally, I find his art ugly to look at, but objectively, I think it is very apparent that his work is just inappropriate. It's a case that any comic with his art, it is suffering for the sake of this style that cannot achieve what the majority of superhero comics require. Characters look ugly and colourless and boring. Every face is the same and conveys no emotion. And the biggest problem is action scenes. He flat out cannot do action scenes. He barely even attempts to. He doesn't capture motion or movement. It's like his paintings are of ugly people in poses. He ruins any action scene by, instead of attempting to do an action scene, he instead just hands in some weak painted piece. Our story here is that White Knight, it's a very simple story. A very simple story ruined with bad art. Like this here, this page is shit. I don't care if you think this is genius. This page alone is terrible. We have got a stupid eye angle to obscure having to do certain facets of the image, like faces. That's the other thing. Since all this painting takes a lot of time, you get stuff like this where it's loads of panel work that he's had to do, and he starts to implement loads of little tricks to get it all done on time. There's a close-up of an orgasm face, and it's just a fucking awful piece of work. I fucking hate this art. I think this is a book that, for once, you could maybe argue that the overall style and aesthetic could maybe work. It's just not done well. The art is pants. If you got a talented person to do this, I can see it maybe working. But when you have Simone Bianchi on a book like fucking Excellent Men or Wolfman, it's fucking ridiculous and shit. It's a bad fit completely. Some more badly told action here. Complete cack, isn't it? Our plot is that White Knight, he's like fighting sorcerers and that back in the day. And then he gets thrown into the future to the present day. And he's a man out of time and all that jazz. It's not a tremendously great story or idea. But I feel like the art is what is making it hurt the most of all. I mean, look at this shite. This is just crap. What is the point of this? If you like his art, if you think it is gorgeous, can you please educate me? I didn't see what's to like about it. I don't think he does anything well. Like even the human form and anatomy. It's bad. There's nothing about his art that to me says he has any place in mainstream American comics. Every skill that is required of an artist he doesn't have. And it's all a mess on top of every other problem. It all looks a mess. White Knight is in the modern day and he gets arrested by a police because they think he is a crazy man. We have got this kid there. I say kid, but looking at this art, I think this is an adult suffering from dwarfism. If that's what it's meant to be, that's not bad really. But it is meant to be a kid. This art is so shit. I kind of regret making this whole thing a regular feature where I say certain artists are shit. Because I didn't really have much to say except turning to each page and being reminded that it is shit. Like it's shit in every way. Every panel on this page is shit. So White Knight, he is arrested and his horse is dead and the horse has human teeth and gums. I really consider Simone Bianchi and his ugly art and his stupid hair and his pretentious arse a blight on comic books. He can fuck the fuck off and sod off back to Italy to join the mafia or rape his underage cousin or whatever the day hour in Italy. This is a terrible reading experience because of his crappy artwork, so I'll rate it 7 thumbs up.